So when you go full-time RV living, there are some hard truths. And sometimes you might stay in an RV park that doesn't have sewer. Maybe it just has water and electric. One of our primary spots is that way. And what we do is we have a Rhino dump tank that we strap on the back of our ladder and we tow it around with us. And basically what you can do with it is when your tanks get full, you can empty your tanks and it hooks to a hitch on the back of your truck and it rolls and you can pull it to the dump tank if your campground has a dump tank, and then you can just empty it out. It usually takes me a couple trips to empty ours. It's great exercise. Some people wouldn't like that. Some people would just like to be fully hooked up and have the convenience of easy living. The hard truth is that there are times whenever you have to do dirty work, but hey, it's good exercise and you have to think of it in a positive manner. And like I said, one of our primary spots that we like to stay in doesn't have sewer hookups. So that's one hard truth about RV living. Another that you should be prepared for is breakdowns. You have to realize that you're pulling your house, your dwelling place, on wheels, and you're going over freeways and highways and bad roads and good roads and all that stuff. And just sometimes you have breakdowns because your house is sitting on a frame, suspension, tires, all those things. So if you're not prepared to deal with some hard work mechanics, be prepared for it because things do happen. If you've been following us and you see our other videos, we had a video where we were in Arizona and we broke a leaf spring and we got stranded a few days, but figured it all out. And we've had blowouts, we've had leaks, and you just have to be prepared for it and roll with the punches. And as you do it, you learn everything about your trailer, your rig, your truck, whatever you have. You will learn about it and you will learn how to fix certain issues in the future. And once you've had everything break down and you've fixed everything yourself, you will know how to do it in the future. So it's a blessing in disguise. It's always a learning process. And in that can pretty much certify yourself as an RV tech. Another truth, your rig may have a full-size residential refrigerator or an RV-sized refrigerator. We happen to have an RV-sized refrigerator. Now it works for us. We're able to fit everything in it. But one downside is we have to shop a lot more often. And so we have good freezer space. We haven't really had an issue, but for some people, they may have an issue. And all it costs for us is more frequent grocery shopping. If you plan on going full-time RV living, remember to look at the refrigerator size and pick a rig depending on your preference that has the right size refrigerator for you. This is going to be really common for most people. Another hard truth about RV living is before you do so, you must remember you are moving your life into an RV that's mobile. You still have to have structure and schedule because it's really easy to fall into feeling like, man, I'm always on vacation. Now that's okay as long as you have a schedule and structure to do your activities, if you have kids, your schooling, your income, but just very important to have your schedule and structure and not lose that because it could easily happen. So you're in different areas where things are nice and fun and you're just enjoying it, which that's part of this lifestyle. It just has to be a very good balance of structure, schedule, and living. That's one thing that we are continuing to learn, our structure with the kids, their schooling. It's just one thing to keep in your mind, structure the schedule when you are a full-timer. And you know, I just thought of this one as I'm out here in this creek, this dry creek. And yes, I am standing by the dumpster. And so maybe that adds to what I'm about to talk about, bugs. If you're a full-time traveler, you're going to different places, different states, different countries, and they all have different bugs. So we've had ant problems, roach problems, yellow jacket problems, fruit fly problems. We've had them all, and there's a lot that we haven't had yet because we haven't been to a lot of places. It's good to always be prepared. Put a barrier around your dwelling because we've been to places where the ants are just insane and they will just find the food no matter how, and they'll get wherever they need to get it. So you got to be prepared to deal with them all. They get pesky, you know. They all have a right to live here, but maybe in your pantry isn't the best place to have ants and stuff. Even in this trip, we've been dealing with fruit flies and yellow jackets and flies. It could be, as I said, because there's a recycling bin over there. So I don't know. But Kayla, what else is hard about RV life? Is there anything hard about it?
Yeah.
Tell me.
You need places where your kids could run around.
Yeah, that's a good one. If you have kids, we like to park, depending on where we're at, we like to park near the playgrounds. And we carry their bikes with them and their scooters and their musical instruments. And so sometimes that's not always good for the neighbors, but it's good for me as a dad and Gwen as a mom to put up with the noise because someday it won't be noise. And it will be beautiful music coming from their spirits and their hearts, and we will be able to enjoy it and enjoy listening to their expressions of themselves come out through their instruments. So we carry their pianos, their guitars, their percussion instruments, and some of their little drums. So yeah, that's a good point, Michaela. And we also like to make sure that they make friends and introduce themselves, and they have made so many different friends while we travel, and we always get their contact information so that we can stay in contact with them wherever we go and when we meet up. Cool deal. Like right now, she's out there harvesting wheat. I don't know what she's gonna do with it. But last time it was pine cones, and we had like a big trash bag full of pine cones she wanted to take everywhere. Right, babe?
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go ask Aaliyah. So another hard truth I just realized, if you're planning to do so, you are gonna go through phases of downsizing and getting rid of things that you don't need, because you can't carry everything with you in a 34-foot fifth wheel. Might even be picking a van. We've downsized for like a month or two before we even started. But you have to narrow it down to the things that you need to have with you at all times. So we carry our necessities, and you want to make sure that you're not going too heavy as well, because the heavier you are, the more issues you'll have even traveling with your suspension, your tires. Everything's rated for different weights, and so you have to be mindful of that. We made sure that we weighed ourselves with all the things that we take, and we were a lot lighter than we even thought we were going to be. I always thought, man, we're so heavy, we're carrying so much food and so many things. And when I got on the scale, I was really relieved, because I realized, wow, we're lighter than the trailer was weighed when they created it at the factory. So, and that all has to do with our renovations as well. We've taken a lot of things out of the trailer when we renovated, a lot of carpet, beds, and stuff like that. But all I know is that we went on a scale and we were a lot lighter than we thought we were, and that gave us a lot of peace of mind. If you plan to do this, make sure you're not too heavy. One thing we did learn when we were going boondocking once, I filled up my tanks, and a full tank of fresh water in our rig is about 700 pounds. And if you think about it, that's a lot. And so we learned not to travel with full tanks unless we're gonna go a short distance and we're not gonna go real fast, and we're gonna go boondock. When I broke my leaf spring, I'm pretty sure it had to do with being so heavy and the bumpy I-40 in Arizona, along with my full tanks, because we were going to boondock. Yeah, be mindful of that. You don't want to be too heavy. You don't want to cause any accidents or breakdowns, and do as much as you can to prevent that. Weight and downsizing. That's one truth about RV living if you're about to start, or you ever plan to start, or you never plan to start. Just one thing to know, might be able to help someone else out. Hey, Aaliyah. What are some hard things about living RV life?
Kids.
Kids?
Mm-hmm.
What about them? You guys?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Because you guys are living with us.
Oh,
Yeah, because we love you.
that was a good one. Asher, what's hard about RV life?
Abby.
I would say staying clean for Asher. That's what I'm gonna say. Anyways, so those are a few things that I think that are hard truths about living the RV lifestyle. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's just our perspective, and those are just our hard truths. If you enjoyed this short little video and this explanation and some tips in RV living, please hit that like button and the subscribe button.
Subscribe.
You heard it, folks. Subscribe. We'll see you next time in the next video.
Peace. 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 Peace.
Let's go.